What's that? Reserve list spiking again? Sales everywhere? Well, it's the reserve list. Of course that's going to happen. Well, here we go again. A reserve list conversation. I hope you're ready for it because the reserve list cannot be ignored and it cannot be denied. The cards are amazing. The collectability is always up there and a lot of cards sold this week and I wonder why. Number one, I hope you bought lodestone bobble out there when I told you guys. Welcome back everyone. MTG Moxman here. Gonna have that reserve list conversation because there was a lot of stuff going on the weekend and I'm excited to share it all with you today. You know, the reserve list, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. Maybe Wizards overreached at the time, but whatever the reason is, it is a foundation stone in the basement of the Wizards' Ivory Keep Tower that's never going away. It is too ingrained to everything we know about Magic as a collectible card game. It's not going anywhere. And I love it when certain combinations or new cards that Wizards creates allows one of these lesser known reserve list cards to kind of jump up and say hello. I love when it happens. I look forward to it when it happens. And then we get to discuss it on a video like this today. So let's go ahead, take a look at some amazing cards that have really been selling well. And let's see what's going on out there in the reserve list. We are going to start this conversation off with a fast-moving, hard-hitting card, Lodestone Bobble. This thing had massive sales in the last 5 days. This Alliances card is going crazy. You can see there it's going for $13 Canadian for a lightly played copy. Look at my video last week and see what those prices were like when we did the buyout video. The average is $13.99 US. The market has it at $9.17 US and €5.88 will get you that card. Now, it is being used in a combination with Abundance and the new card from Crimson Vow, the Culvenator Colossus. When you take a look at these cards and you see how they'll all combine together, it becomes a very sick combination for the Culvenator and he just will like smash people. Abundance gets played well and before you know it, you're wrecking people with a Lodestone Bobble combination that cannot be denied. And a lot of people decide to reach out there and grab more copies than my entire buyout had done in that week we started. So way to go. If you bought Lodestone Bobble, you basically doubled your money already without doing anything. Kind of crazy, but that's the way it goes. Welcome aboard Lodestone Bobble. You're a ninja. Now, when we're taking a look at card number 2, Thrall Champion continues to sell very well. $9 Canadian for a lightly played copy. A heavily played will be $4.50 Canadian though. The average is $6.20. The market has it at $6.38 and it's €3.58 to get you that card. Now the funny thing is, I talked about using this with Tevesh Savat, Doom of Fools, right? Create your little token thralls and of course, you know, they have a little bit of pump up, but you can use it with other thralls from Fallen Empires. And it looks like some people are actually trying to do it because I know some people who called me and actually asked about which cards I'm going to be trying to use in this combination. Remember, it won't be a very serious commander deck, but it could be a lot of fun to try out. And I noticed some extra sales on Tevesh right now. So way to go, people. You got to try to break those cards sometimes. And it looks like Thrall Champion is going to have a lot of fun out there in Commander. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next card. And that is going to be Sanctum continues its high sales volume. Now this card right now is $350 Canadian for a lightly played copy. There are other copies that are cheaper, but they're in foreign languages. There's usually a lot of fees tied into them. So be wary and check those things out before you purchase. Now the average is $349 US. The market has it at $298.13 US and €232.57 will get you that card. I do remember paying, 2 years ago paying $75 when I didn't buy it, but now I think I paid $205 back in 2020. This card has continued to rise, but in the last 60 days, the high sales volumes tell me that the same few people who picked on it a few weeks ago are still at it. They're just doing it daily now by buying off 1 or 2 copies. If this is a card you're after, you're not going to have many more opportunities getting it below that $500 mark. Pay attention, guys. People are picking this card off. There's lots of new enchantments that can be used with a white deck and in Commander to make this a very viable, playable card. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next card. I know, Sanctum, crazy. Now, Radiant Archangel is another card that had very high sales volumes in the last 20 days. This card can still be found for $26 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average is $42.74 US. The market has it at $25.22, although I didn't find any when I was looking. The foil is $363.58 US, and €9.72 will get you that card. Now, I saw most of them were actually higher than what the market has it at, depending on where you're buying from, the fees and import fees attached to that card. But it has been spiking up. People are using it. It's definitely finding a home in Commander. And the sheer volume of sales happening tells me people are grabbing this card. I myself just purchased my very first one, so I could have a copy just in case I decide to put it in my Angel Commander deck. I mean, why not, right? It was $27 or something. I decided to get at least one copy, and it's reserve list, so you really can't go wrong in the long run on cards like this. Keep an eye out. Radiant Archangel looks like to be climbing somewhere soon to a theater near you. Now, when we're taking a look at our next card, the Deranged Hermit. Now, this card has fallen slightly in value, but the sales volumes continue to rise on the card. Ever since the Squirrels came out in Modern Horizons 2, this card has continued to see a lot of playability and a lot of love. Now, $78 Canadian is for a light played copy. It did have some shipping fees, though. The average is $82.87 US. The market has it at $96.02 US. A foil is going to run you $500 US, and €49.40 will get you that card. You can see it's come down the spike from where it was when Modern Horizons 2 was at its height, but the sales volumes are very high. If you're a person looking to do a squirrel deck and you want to get your hands on a Deranged Hermit, you might as well just buy it around that $78 mark on platforms like eBay, and there was a couple on TCG Player moderately played that did cost less if you're just trying to get yourself a copy to have a real one that's playable. Go ahead, snag a copy and enjoy yourself. Treat yourself this holiday season. Now, when we're taking a look at our next card, which is the Metal Worker from Urza's Destiny, this card again has come down a little bit from the Rudy video where he showed that big stack of 50. Now at $170 Canadian for a lightly played copy. Remember the formats here, Commander, Vintage, Legacy, but the sales volumes are high. The average is $157.49. The market does have it at $163 US. The foil is $926 US, and €94.31 will get you that card. Now that 170 Canadian for light played, I figured that was actually pretty reasonable. There was a couple of copies in the same condition. They all look pretty good. And that was with free shipping on, I think that was eBay platform. Locally, they're around 200 where I found them, so I didn't put those up on the board. But there were a couple even locally. Guys, some people have turned these in. They're not actually using them as play cards. So I think that's driving down the price a little bit. I think if we hang in there for another 20, 30 days, you might see a few more percentage points off on that card. So you might want to hold off for a little bit. Now, when we're looking at our next card today, it is the Master Core from Urza's Destiny. Now, this card, steady sales, but it had zero sales before, so it's kind of picking up steam. $18 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average is $23.86 US. The market has it $25.95 US. A foil is $17.99, which, by the way, I found it cheaper than that by far. And €12.85 will get you that card. I found Canadian copies locally even cheaper than $18, but they were moderately played. This card, the value is a little bit out of whack, but the sales are picking up on this particular card. So keep it in mind if it's a card you're trying to use for a Commander deck, a Vintage or Legacy, just trying to have some fun with it. You might want to get it while it's still cheap. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll be sure to relate back to you guys any information I come across later on. Now, on our next card today, it is Yogmas Will. This card, again, spiking in sales, but they are staying at 1. So it's people buying one copy at a time, and it's multiple people. So it's not a buyout. It's just a lot of people buying a single copy, it looks like, for Commander decks. This card has fallen in price. You can find it right now for $240 Canadian for moderately played. The average is $278.99. The market has it $281.31 US. €135.89 will get you that card. As this card continues to fall, it looks like the speed is picking up in which the sales happen. Again, I don't think it's a buyout. People are just taking advantage of the decreasing price to say, hey, it was at 300 and change. It hit $400 at one point. This is a steal. I'm going to grab it now while I still can. And it's not a bad idea if you're looking to get yourself at least one for a Commander deck. Now, when we're taking a look at Ragnar from Legends, I remember buying a near mint copy for $40. And that was a couple of years ago. Now, you can find it for $80 Canadian lightly played. The average is $74.50. The market is $72.99 US, and €66 even will get you that card. It has continued to fall, but the sales have, again, in the last 30 days, have started to pick up some steam. So I'm marking this one at steady right now with 1 or 2 sales every day. Now, the Italian copies are selling far quicker because you can get them so much cheaper, but let's face it, in a commander deck with these colors, being able to regenerate creatures is a very nice effect to have in a commander deck, and for that reason, people seem to say, you know what, Ragnar, you're it, man. It's not from the Viking show, but we like you. Now, when we're taking a look at Dystopia, the sales are very high, but this price on this card is very low. $6.50 Canadian for a near mint quality copy of this card. The average is $5.16 US. The market has it at $4.68 US. €6.70 will get you that card. At one point, it spiked all the way up to around the $10 mark. It has been on a decline ever since. But again, the sales are high. People are picking this card up. They're using it. They're holding it. Whatever they're doing, they are buying this card in droves, I guess, to hold on to, because a lot of people are buying play sets of 4 or more in some cases. So keep an eye on this card. It's just like Thrall Champion. People are buying it. I mean, somebody bought 40 copies of Thrall Champion in a week, so it's really going on out there. Now, for our last card today, we're going to take a look at the Mist Dragon from Mirage. This is one of those cards you don't want to underestimate. Forget the casting cost of 6. The fact it can go 0 to give flying, or it can lose flying to save itself from flying attack spells. The fact it can phase out. This card is a multi-pronged attack card that can have uses when a deck is built for Commander with this card. Now, $6 Canadian for a near mint copy of this card. The average is $4.94 US. The market has it at $5.78 US. It's only €1.91 to buy that card. It did kind of creep up for a while. It's fallen back down. I myself would say hunt down the near mint copies for the $5-6 Canadian mark. It's a steal to get it. It may actually find a home just like lodestone, bobble. There are reasons why cards like this exist, and they can get broken later on. So it's fun to see what happens when they do. So Mist Dragon for a 6 casting cost 4/4 may seem a little high, but it's the abilities you're interested in. Keep an eye on this card. It's one to watch because somebody and a few friends with them are buying a lot of copies of this card right now. So guys, now that we take a look at all these cards, now that you've seen what's going on, there's a lot of reserve list cards moving. I'm not going to call it a buyout right now, but the sales are high. People are picking off targets. It's just not enough to make a massive dent, and they're doing it in smaller droves so people don't notice. If you're looking at particular cards you like, this may be the time to grab them before something spikes, something happens. I can't tell every card at the same time. It takes time to compile the data and look at the sales, but a lot of these cards are moving and it's happening across the board. It's fascinating to watch. I hope everyone enjoyed the video today. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Reserve list, who knew, right? They sell, they're worth money, and they're collectible. Crazy stuff out there. Thanks for tuning in, MTG Moxman. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. A big shout out to each and every one of my epic patrons who allow for this amazing conversation to happen each and every day. Patrons make the world go round, and thank you all for your continued support of this channel. You guys are the heroes of the channel. I'm so glad you're here. You've made it. You're epic because you made it to the end of this video. Congratulations. It's not easy to do. It doesn't happen every day. Less than 2% of my watchers make it this far in the video. Remember that. Less than 2% get to know what goes in that 10K box. I know. People don't realize it, but it happens. So, you know, you got to keep that piercing light on things. You got to know what's going on. You got to keep your eye on the box because we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers. It is going to happen one way or the other. They can't hold us back. I'm not taking that negativity. We're going to turn it into positive energy. We're going to have a great time. And because of you guys, we get to keep doing this. You guys rock. The viewers, the patrons, everyone on this channel, you guys are amazing, man. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. It's a game. We have a blast playing it. What? That's it. That's my pep talk speech today. You deserved it. Have a great one, guys and girls. I'll see everyone tomorrow. I will. I'll be here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.